My name is John Peterson, and I would like to tell you about how the methodology feature in Lifecycle Services can add value to Columbus as an organization. The agenda of today is why should we do this? Secondly, what is the setup, what is needed? And third, how can we benefit using this on specific projects? So the goal is to ensure a common methodology. We are looking into the SureStep templates and we want to make them easy to access when you need it, where you need it, and where you're at. Thirdly, we want to make the enablement guide that is now 50 odd pages more operational, explained in PowerPoint, not only in Word, so it's easy to transfer the knowledge of how we're going to approach this project, not in Word, but in PowerPoint at internal kickoffs, etc. Thirdly, we want to have access to Word templates, just such as minutes of meeting, etc., easily also using this. And thirdly, we want to make it possible to document how we are actually going to approach the specific project. In this case, not only just documenting our common methodology, but actually documenting the methodology on the specific customer case. So, what is the setup? What is needed to do this? Basically, what we have here is, of course, we have the SureStep SharePoint, which is here, where you can go in and look at the templates. The issue of that is that it can actually be difficult to get an overview of which templates is needed and where, and also make sure that it's the latest one. And it will be a huge work if we're going to update everything. We can use Lifecycle Service to actually find out which one is the most needed. For example, identify the 10 or 15 templates that are needed, update them, and then make links into Lifecycle Service. I'll show you how that works. Secondly, we have, of course, the enablement guide, which is here. But this is 48 pages, and we cannot expect that everyone always remember it, and it's not a very good way to communicate when you have to sit together in a room in an internal, or for that matter, an external kickoff and approach alignment. What we have created there is templates that describes in a PowerPoint format or in a Word format how to execute the different activities when your analysis, when your design, etc. So for example, if I go in here and look at the external kickoff, then there is a description of how to work with BPM, workshop execution purpose, describing what is the purpose, working in the BPM way, etc., how to work in rapid value, etc., etc., etc. Even how this works, it can be all the way down to this level. And then of course the project manager can cut out what is not needed and of course add if there's something that is needed. But basically we have made the enablement guide operational. But this can be difficult to have an overview of. Therefore, Lifecycle Services comes into place. What we have done here is we have a feature in Lifecycle Service, which I'm in now, where we can manage methodologies. And by the way, we can share this across the countries in Columbus. So if I click here, then and I go into Columbus organization, then you can see you have diagnostic, analysis, design, and so on. This is not standard for Microsoft, of course. This is coming from our enablement guide, our SureStep Plus approach. And in here we have different, for example, diagnostic, we have different activities, and for example under analysis we have the same. And if I, for example, go underneath here, I have the possibility to go in and add the different links to the SharePoint. So I'm not putting documents up into Lifecycle Services, which would make us vulnerable and allow maybe Microsoft to view them. I'm actually just making links to our SharePoint, to our internal SharePoint. And this is, in this case, our internal SharePoint here, but I can also put it up into, if I go in here and say edit, I can actually make links to the Columbus SharePoint, the Sure Plus SharePoint. So it can be multiple SharePoints where I can put up links for relevant documents that support the actual activity. So that's the setup, so to speak. If I continue and then show you how to apply this methodology template, one might say, in Lifecycle Service, I'll show you how it's actually being done. So coming back to this, how it's being used is the following. So I can go in here and add another project. So the way that I do that is go in here and then I'm gonna call this, for this case, sake, just demo customer. And then I have to choose an industry, and here comes the interesting part. Here I can choose methodology, and we can put in multiple methodologies if there's multiple templates we want to add on. Of course, this will then make it difficult to maintain. So therefore, in our case, and what we have had good experience with, is actually just using one methodology in Denmark. So I'll choose this one, and then I say create. Now you can see that I have the demo customer, that's the customer. I have now all the features that is in Lifecycle Service on this project, which is code analysis, configuration, cloud, business process modeling, etc. I can also invite users, by the way, and this is of course a way to really quickly align expectation by inviting the project members into this. Here in Denmark, we are only inviting the project manager, lead solution architect, and a person helping to make sure that we are using methodology. We are not inviting everybody, but we could do that in the future so everybody could view this. So it is possible. Now let's go in here and look at the structure. So basically I have diagnostic and I have these activities, and please note that here we have process scope, business strategy, integration strategy, high-level gap analysis, etc. And if we go in here and view the enablement guide, these are the exact activities we have here, okay? So in diagnostic, these are the steps that we are going to do. And for example, up here, which I'll show in a minute, we have analysis, and in here we have business process verification, POC, and business process modeling. In other words, the workshop activities in analysis. So let me go back and view this. So if I go into here, then I can view all the very nice templates that has been linked up to the SharePoint that was in here. So instead of having people to go into different SharePoints or going to the Sure Plus template SharePoint, I can just go in here, click here, and then I will be directly into different documents in the SharePoint. So it's basically a question of giving the project members what they need when they need it, and nothing more. And that way ensuring that they're following a common methodology. And it's the same thing here. If I go in here, you see this is all the Sure Plus templates. This is not, again, back to in Denmark, our common methodology supporting documents, but it's actually the documents in Sure Plus. And we can go in and follow that link as well, the FTD documents. Very easily access to the templates. One really important feature here as well is that I'm not forced to follow 100% our methodology in Columbus. I can actually go in and edit the methodology and say, okay, that's very nice. We have now gone to the customer and we have explained how we're going to do it. But what they have said is that they actually don't have, for example, if I go in here, they don't have test or soft license estimation in diagnostic. What we can do there is delete that, and then that is being taken out. Here we go. And that way you can really easily communicate internally what and how we're going to execute this project. So in other words, this is a free way to readjust our methodology, ensure that we are all using the same methodology. We are making the enablement guide more operational by allowing people easy access to the templates. And secondly, instead of boiling the ocean, so to speak, and look at the whole SureStep Plus SharePoint site, we can actually go and identify the, I would say, 10 or 15 needed templates, update them in the SharePoint, and then make links into here, so that when you are in analysis and you need to do business process analysis, you can actually see the templates that are needed there. Thank you very much.